About side and angle relationships for triangles. So let's go on now. What is the relationship between the sides and the angles of a triangle? Identify the opposite sides of the indicated angle. Use a highlighter. So I want to see what you know, if you can recognize, given these different angles, can you find the opposite side? So angle, this means this little, this look like an acute angle, it's saying angle XYZ. Some kids have a hard time determining what does that mean. Which direction are you talking about? It's saying X to Y to Z is this one. So what is the opposite of it? Opposite side is XZ. And you draw a line above it. Like this is line segment XC. What is the opposite side of angle YZX? Here's Y, here's Z, here's X. What is the opposite side of it? It is XY. Make sure you draw a line so that it's line segment XY. What is the opposite side of angle ZXY? Opposite side right here is YZ. Draw a line segment. I identified the opposite angles of the indicated side. Use a highlighter. So here's AB. What is the opposite of it? It is, you could say angle C, but we want to use all three letters. Angle ACB. You could also say angle BCA. It's determined. Do you want to read it from left to right or right to left? What is the opposite angle of BC? Here is BC. Opposite is angle BAC. And next one, here's AC. What is the opposite of it? Angle ABC. So now, taking what we got from here, let's look at a technology with it that talks about this. It's not moving. Here it is. So, from this investigation, what can you tell me about this? Drag points of triangle to start demonstration. So, here's my hand. Dragging. I guess I would do it right here. So what can you tell me? Here's angle C. Here's the opposite side of it. As you can tell, angle C is extremely wide. So angle AB is also really, really wide. So as you can tell, angle C is the widest angle with the largest measure. So the opposite side is the largest side. Angle A, which is this one right here, is the smallest, most narrowest angle. It has the smallest side. Let's do another investigation. Here's another investigation. Angle C is extremely wide. So that means the opposite side of AB is the longest side. Angle, let's see, B, this one, is medium. On the opposite side is AC, or CA, is a medium length. And let's look at angle A. You can barely see, it's so narrow. So that means the opposite side is extremely narrow. So what can you tell me? What's your summary about this investigation? If the angle is very wide, the opposite side will be very long, very wide. If the angle is very narrow, the measurement is very narrow, then the opposite side would be very small. So, taking what we got from here, so after we spent that, now we need to go back to part 2 and identify the side opposite of each angle. So let's go back to our angles. So our question, first of all, is BCA. Find angle BCA. Let me use a different, let me clean this up. Here's angle BCA. BCA. What is the opposite side of it? It is AB. BAC. What is the, here's BAC. What is the opposite side of it? BC. And here's CBA. CB to A. What's the opposite side of it? AC. All right, so in our next activity, we're going to be drawing different types of triangles. You're going to tell me, are the angles wide or not? Are the sides long or not? And are they narrow or not? Are they small the side or not? So let me draw my first triangle. So let's name it A, B, C. So find the measure of CBA. Here's the measure of CBA. What can you tell me about this angle? From what I can tell, it looks like it's the most widest of all. So what's this angle? It is the largest of the three. On the opposite side, does AC look like it's the longest side? It does to me. It is the largest side. Let's look at the next one. Look at BAC. BAC, which is right here. From what I can tell, compared to the other three angles, it looks like a medium length. It's middle. And the opposite side, this is the longest. This looks like this is the medium length. The short, so it's a medium or middle length side. And our last one, let's look at BCA. BCA, which is this one right here. What a very narrow or smallest angle. I mean, and isn't this side the shortest of all? It is the shortest of all. Let's practice another one. Let's do this one right here. A, B, C. So what can you tell me about, let me take a different color. What can you tell me about CBA? CBA. What a very wide angle. I believe it's obtuse, so I know it's the widest angle of all. So I mean, side AC must be the largest side. BAC. BAC. This one is a very narrow, so it's smallest angle, and the side, I can tell it's the smallest side. And BCA, BCA, this one right here is a middle. This line is the second longest, or the middle of it. So you couldn't go through more investigation, but I think I got the general idea. So I can answer this now. What's your conclusion? The largest angle is always opposite the largest side. The smallest angle is always opposite the smallest side. The middle-sized angle is always opposite the middle side. So now that we understand that, let's go back to our previous lesson where we know all about properties of triangles. So, triangle DEF is an isosceles triangle. What do you remember about isosceles triangle? Eyes. How many eyes do we have? Two of them, two identical eyes, unless you're a cyclops or a pirate. So you have two eyes. So two of the sides and two of the angles will be the same. If the measure of angle E is 42, what should the measure of F be? Does D and F look the same to you? It does to me. So what do you remember about triangle? Tell me everything about the angles of interior angles of a triangle. It adds up to 180 degrees. So I know 42 plus x plus this x will add up to 180 degrees. So we do the opposite operation. We subtract 42. We subtract 42. So we get 138 degrees. First of all, I know that's not going to be the answer because you can tell there are two angles here, and both angles are acute or less than 90 degrees. But if this is an isosceles, you know that these two are identical. That means we could divide these two by 2 because 42 plus a number plus another number adds to 180. So if it's 138, if we split this 138 by 2, we will get 69 degrees for each one. So the answer is B. 69 plus 42 adds up to 180 degrees. And next one. The measure of angle A and the measure of angle B in the isosceles triangle shown is 35 degrees. What is the measure of angle C? First of all, as I look at angle C, I know it can't be 180. That's a straight line. I know it can't be 35. That's too tiny. From what I can tell, it looks like an obtuse angle. So if I had to make a rotation, I think it's going to be H. But I just want to do my mathematics to make sure. Again, what do you know about the interior angles of a triangle? It adds up to 180. 35 plus 35 is 70. 70 plus x is 180. What do you add to 70 to get 180? do the inverse operation, so minus 70, cancel. Minus 70 does 110. The answer was H. So in summary, what can you tell me about a triangle? If you are given a triangle like this, D, E, F, and I ask you everything about D, angle D, what can you tell me about angle D? Angle D is a very narrow or small angle. The opposite side is EF. Is EF the shortest side? It is. What about angle E right here? This one right here. It is a very wide angle. It's very long, very wide. It is obtuse. And opposite side is DF. What can you tell me about side DF? It's the longest side.